All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show. Happy New Year to everyone. It is a new year. Knicks start off the new year on a high note, winning 102 to 83 versus the shorthanded Phoenix Suns. Um, I mean, total absolute domination, literally from I want to say after they went up 4-zip, it was literally Knicks all the way. They
Yeah,
responded to the four zip start by Phoenix by going on a 14-0 run of themselves. And then yeah, I mean there were various stretches where the Knicks just completely dominated. There was a 21-0 stretch in the second quarter where the Knicks just went up 52 to 20, and that was all she wrote at that point. I mean, we can get into itty bitty parts, pieces here and there, but for the most part, it was just straight domination by the Knicks on both ends. Um, yeah,
yeah, not really much to talk about. It was just kind of a thrashing. Uh, like you said, like they went up 4-0 to start the game, and DeAndre Ayton was looking good, and then the Knicks went okay, and they ran 14 in a row, and by the end of the first quarter, they were up like a lot. They were that's really it. They ended the first, like they basically went up a lot, and the Suns just rolled over and died.
yeah, and I mean, it was mainly due to first of all, the Knicks dominated the glass. DeAndre Ayton didn't get a rebound until right before halftime. And that kind of lets you know what the story was. And because of us dominating the glass, we were able to get so many second chance opportunities, which allowed for more possessions for us and for the lead to continue to grow. I mean, we would miss a shot and it would be either Mitch or Julius Randle or even Emmanuel Quickly or someone else just grabbing that rebound and then kicking it out to someone else. And yeah, they couldn't stop us. We were hitting our threes as well. I mean, you had guys. Grimes was 2 of 6, Julius was 4 of 12, Brunson was 2 of 3, Manuel was 3 of 6. Even Deuce hit a three today. So that's when
Woo!
we're really rolling from three. And yeah, that was basically the story of the game, just dominating the rebounds, dominating defensively, and dominating the second chance points.
Mitch was doing tween hezzies and no look passes in the first quarter. That should tell
Yeah.
you how this game went. It was hilarious too. He took it, he like went between his legs with it, and then like came out of nowhere and like he got the offensive rebound, kicked it out to IQ, and was the three. So like we were having fun early in this game. This was a game like you put on in the background and you just kind of did all the work. You just made sure that like props hit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point in the game where the fans in the arena seemed like they were bored because there was just a lull in this in the the fourth quarter where there was no noise from the crowd, and it was just they didn't know
But
what to
hey,
do because first of all, the Knicks, they absolutely reek. They don't reek at home, but it hasn't been the prettiest of wins at home. So
yeah,
I guess the fans aren't really used to sitting in the midst of a blowout while we're the team that's actually dominating. So they just didn't know what to do, and then yeah, I mean,
I think it also had to do with the fact that like they were up 30 in the first. Like they were up so much that like was there much to really cheer about? At that point, you're just like, all right, cool, don't blow the lead. Um, it's a matinee game, which also means that like you're not gonna get a lot of like fanfare. I think the first quarter where like they were just on constant three, and Randall was like going off with IQ and Brunson. Like that first half where like Randall goes off and then Brunson drops 14 in the quarter. And I think at that point the lead was so big that you're up 30 and you're just like, okay, well, all right, the game's done.
yeah,
Even though you should never trust the Knicks with the lead. You should not,
yeah.
but I
That
don't blame
that's
the fans for doing
also
so.
yeah, that's also a thing too, because there was a point where Phoenix starts to chip away at the end of the second quarter, and I was like, oh, this could be a little dicey,
I
but
think if
Knicks,
we about to be in single digits fighting for our life, man.
yeah, and then the third quarter happened, and then the Knicks were like, all right, let's we got this under control. Um, but yeah, I mean, pretty great win. Weird start time, 3 p.m. like we talked about last post game, but I
Yeah.
mean, we took care of business, which is odd enough because we usually suck at these afternoon games. So the Knicks want to get started on the new year in the right way, and they did that and absolutely killing the Suns. And I mean, one thing that we also talked about in the last post game too is that the Suns, they were a team that without Devin Booker, they have been just constantly searching for someone to provide that offensive boost for them. And today, early on, it looked like it was going to be DeAndre Ayton. But yeah, they just couldn't get any consistent scoring from anybody today. I mean, if you look at their box score, it's very disgusting. I mean, their leading
Ish Wainwright
scorer.
was their best player today.
I mean, him and Dwayne Washington Jr., who came in and just started lighting it up in the fourth quarter. But like, other than that, it was like it was rough. I mean, Chris Paul couldn't really get anything going. 4 of 11 from the field. Miles Bridges, not Miles Bridges, Mikal Bridges was also 4 of 11 from the field. Yeah, Shamit was 2 of 9. Coreg was 2 of 7. Cameron Payne, who's someone that usually gives us a little bit of fits sometimes when we play him, wasn't able to really do anything too. I mean, like they just could not legit get anything from anyone, and it's weird to see a team that's supposed to be a contender that rely on one guy, Devin Booker, to really be the say all be all for them. So
I think
to the point where they look this bad without him, but yeah.
I think the thing is like with Ayton, he's inconsistent, and I think also like CP3, it might be time to be a family man. I think he's staring down father time right now. He was a team worst -38 tonight. So like, man, the State Farm commercials might be calling. He might need to go join Cliff. So yeah, like the Suns are just like in a free for right now, and Devin Booker, I think he's arguably he's a top 10 player right now, and they look like they needed him badly.
And kudos to the Knicks for actually taking advantage of an opportunity as such. There's plenty of times where the Knicks don't take advantage of these opportunities, where they play a team that is not fully healthy. So it was good to see them take advantage of a team that not fully healthy, and they're in MSG. So there was a lot of skepticism around this matchup. So it's good to see the team actually pull through, take the win, and hopefully they can build on this, get some revenge against the Spurs on Wednesday, and keep the momentum rolling from there.
Yeah, I think this is a game where like everybody gets in a good groove, everybody's feeling good in the locker room afterwards, and ultimately everybody had a good game. Nobody really like stood out as they had a poor performance, which is really good for this team trying to build momentum. So yeah, all in all, good stuff.
Yeah, good to see JB come back.
Yeah.
First game back, and he had 24, 4, and 6 on 8 of 18 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. 6 of 11 from free throw. Free throws is looking a little rough for him right now. I mean, man, I'm just hoping it's like the rust, but like I also can't say it's the rust too because he missed free throws like before he was out too. So hoping this is not something that becomes a consistent issue for him. But yeah.
I mean, remember like he had that game in Chicago where he used the 3 free throws versus 2 down the stretch. So you're hoping that it's not more of a trend, but like shooting around like 85% of the year in free throws, I don't think it should be too big of an issue. Hopefully, you just hope like it's one game of rust and he's back on Wednesday. But I'm not gonna say it's something to look forward to or something to look out for. But for right now, like one game, you can chalk it up to just coming back.
Yeah. Your boy getting MVP chance. How do you feel?
Nature is healing. Nature is healing. The world is right again. It feels like we're back in 2020 without the negative stuff. I mean, like at this point, I think he's pretty much like, I don't want to say he's a lock for the All-Star game, but I feel like he's as close as you can be to being a lock for the All-Star game without being a lock, if that makes any sense. Like 7 straight games of 28 or more, averaging double-digit rebounds. He's like top 10 in rebounds and points. At this point, like he's just, I'm used to like he scored 28 tonight, and it wasn't the most efficient night for him, but it was still 28 on 18 shots. So, and 12 free throws. So he finally has the whistle that I think he's needed for like the last 3 years. I'm glad somebody finally has it as a Knick because we never get whistles. But yeah, I just can't say more about him. He's in a really good groove right now. Uh, if we didn't lose every game last week, he would have won Player of the Week because you saw that weak ass Player of the Week that was named this one. Like, man,
The Wizards, they're rolling right
it was
now.
stupid. But like, yeah, ooh, the Wizards. But yeah, like he's just in a role right now. He's doing his thing and he's playing like an all-star. What more can you ask for?
Very true. Very true. We will see if it can continue as the season rolls on. We're gonna get into comments a little bit early because I think today's show will be much shorter as the Knicks absolutely obliterated the competition and there's not much to really dive so deep into. So definitely leave some comments as we get to everyone's favorite part of the show. If I can find it. Okay, here we go. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Is there a new one for the new year? Bear with me, people. Bear with me. I'm trying to see if there's. All right. Nope, there is not a new ad read. Okay. Thought there would be a new one for the new year, but nope. All right. The NBA season is heating up. When I am looking to get in on the action, I bet with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet just $5 pregame moneyline on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, total rebounds, and more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. Download the app now, sign up with code TBPN, place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win their game, and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code TBPN, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. All right, let's get into some comments. James Marcita says IQ had CP3 in jail. That is what we expect from our son Emmanuel Quickly. As you know, he has developed into a premier point of attack defender. And as Chris Paul enters his washed stage, it was, a colliding of two forces that did not favor Christopher Paul Jr.
Man, he might be a ring chaser soon. Oh, you get like CP3 just ring chasing out in like the Bucks or something. It's looking like
No.
that. Oh,
I mean, he's got that contract.
and he's
so
still better than Westbrook. That's the funny thing.
He's got that contract though.
I mean, like that contract isn't too bad though. It's not too bad. They could get out of it next year. Like they cut him for like what $15 million they're on the hook for, which isn't too bad. So I wouldn't be surprised if they like cut him and then like next year they might start campaign or something. I don't know, but they should be okay.
Yikes. But yeah, I mean, IQ, this is what he does, and glad to see him finally get some recognition, I guess, like from more fans as he's starting, which I mean, when RJ comes back, he's not going to be starting, but at least, he's getting some recognition now around the league as like a better defender and, basically a super role player who could definitely be much more if he continues to get starts. Because as you can see, you can slot him at the 1 or the 2, and he's very versatile in guarding both 1s and 2s and playing off ball or on ball. And I'm glad, this is being, broadcasted on a larger stage for him. So, glad he's continuing to make the most of this moment.
Yeah,
and,
I feel like
that.
Yeah, I feel like Emmanuel Quickly's been like the biggest secret of the Knicks for the last years. And I feel like people talked about his offensive game. You saw people talk about like how he's Lou Williams and stuff, but like his defense for the last year and a half has just been really, really strong and really potent. And I'm glad he's able to put it all together right now. The defense has been great. The offense has been solid as well. Like he's becoming like the super role player guy that this team has really needed for a while, and it's great to see him do it.
Yeah. Next comment. Okay, 420 says Randall showing out for his future team. So we still got some people in, still got some people in the fan base, who are holding out for that Suns trade.
It's never happening. Let it go.
JL says Randall will always be a clown for last year, but he's sleepwalking to damn near 30 every game. Respect to him. Yeah, I mean it doesn't erase what happened last year. That will always remain in fans' minds because when you do something, when you have the year that he had last year, it's very hard to like basically wipe it from your memory. But he's doing a pretty good job of this year of trying to mitigate for some of that. I know most fans probably still won't reconcile with him until at least they see what he does in the playoffs, because that's another thing that a lot of fans were really scorned by too, was his pumpkin performance in the playoffs versus Atlanta. So there's a lot of work to be done. He's on the road to recovery, but there's still a ways to go, I think.
I get it, but at the same time, like it was his first playoffs. It was a lot of those players' first playoff run. Hard. Like I'm not gonna hold the first playoff run against them. And I get what happened last year, but at the same time, like the guy's good. He's a good player. Just the Knicks haven't had a lot of lifetime. I'm not going to like squander the opportunity to celebrate one because of booing fans. Or like sub play previously happens. Like new year, new slate, and he's shown up to it. So Daniel Jones are on their redemption season tours, and it's good to see.
We will see. James Marcita asks, will all-star Julius Randle's defining playoff moment this year be a missed free throw, a turnover against a double team, a wide open three surrendered at the worst possible moment, or something else? I don't know. Time will tell. I mean, like, what would you say is defining moment?
Comment.
It is. Respect. What would you say his defining playoff moment was that first year?
I don't like. Does he have one? Does he have one? I don't think he like. There's no play I can remember that was. Oh shit! Like, man, even Alfred had one. Him getting like.
RJ Barrett had one. Even Reggie Bullock damn near had one.
Yeah, RJ had one. Burks had one. Obi Toppin had one.
IQ had one.
Quickly had one.
I don't think he had one.
Yeah, I don't. No.
So time will tell, James. Time will tell what Julius Randle brings us in the 2021 2023 playoffs. I am Ace Bouchard.
God. I sound old saying that shit.
Ace Bouchard says, got to bite the bullet and trade Bullius before he turns back into an albatross contract. Oh man. I mean, I don't know. I am someone that is very cautious.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm cautious with these things because it seems like this is like becoming a trend for Julius. Bad year, good year, bad year, good year. Like what is next year gonna bring us? Like, are we having another repeat of last year, or like is it gonna be worse than last year? Like, is that the trend that we're going on? Like, he has a really bad year, a good year, or a great year, then a bad year, like an awful year. Then he has another great year. Then he has another awful year. Is that the trend we're going on with him? That'd be the most
I mean, all
bizarre
aggregate, that's a
NBA
good
player
player. People
ever.
say.
Is it though? Like, depending on the year that you get the
Hmm.
guy, like, no, it's not.
I mean, man, just hoops in even years. It happens, you know. Some people show up in like one good season. He's giving you two good seasons, and then he takes a little break. It's like he's like ultra instinct with it, you know. He's like this
That's
is KO.
terrible. All right. Our good friend Schwinn asks, "Do you think Fournier will keep getting spot minutes even when RJ comes back, and we have a full rotation again?" I don't know. I mean, I think that when Thibs sees something that he likes, he's like going to like continue to do it. Um, it's going to be very interesting because like, will that mean that he pushes out like either Sims or Hartenstein out of the rotation, or does he want to, or is he going to like, I don't know, because like if he's going to keep Fournier in and then do the double bigs, then I don't know, but we'll see.
Ah, I think he does because like the bench unit has been lacking, and they definitely need some kind of scoring punch. And I just I cannot see a world where like you try to run IQ like Brunson Deuce and then like double big. I just don't like that lineup. So I would see I think 48 fits in like a 15-minute a night role where he could just give you shooting that you desperately need because this team is not that again still not a shooting team as they should be. So I think it's okay to just give him like 12 to 15 minutes a night.
I mean, if he's gonna continue to like, he hasn't been he hasn't been as awful as he was when he started the year. So and he's also not a starter anymore. So that's probably like one of the better things that comes from him coming off the bench. And I think this is like what most fans envisioned what at least the Knicks could do with him if he was to be removed as the starter. Just have him off the bench and play like 10 to 15 minutes with the bench unit. But the way he was starting the season was just so bad it wasn't worth even keeping him in the rotation. But we'll see if he can bounce back if he continue to hit shots. You know, we'll see. We haven't heard any updates on RJ, so I don't know when he's gonna come back and how soon that may be, and like who's that gonna be against. So all a matter of when time will what time will tell.
All we heard is that is he'll be out about a week, and I think that happened last week Wednesday. I'm gonna say no, last week Tuesday. So he might be back like let's say Friday or something. We'll see.
Could be, could be. Um, but yeah, I mean, I I don't know. It's weird because also Rose was out today too, so it's like where does like Dib stand on Rose versus Fournier? Um, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to another comment. Um, JL says Randall's defining playoff moment was him breaking a three off the backboard so badly that Taj rebounded it and Rose hit a floater. I could not even tell you that I remember like which game that was from, or like, yeah, I don't know.
Nah,
I can't remember.
nah, I have no idea where that game was from. That might be any one of them, but I'd be like, all right, cool. Like,
Yeah, could have said like game
not a good
three,
playoff.
game four. There was an awful playoffs. All right. So we have Jordan Bub says, who gets traded first, Cam or Obi?
Cam. I feel like it has Cam. I feel like Cam's gonna have more interest at the deadline, and I think they'll probably put Obi back in the rotation when he's healthy. I can't see them like I can't see injured Obi being traded for a healthy Cam, especially when like teams could use a wing even if he's like mediocre. Like teams use him right now. Like the Bucks, they can use Cam for like a second round pick or something. So I like Cam Reddish isn't moved. I just think the return is not going to be as good as the Knicks want it to be. I think expected first. I don't think he'll get that, but like you probably get like a second or two, which is fine. So I see you first.
Yeah, I think just the way that they've been handling the Cam thing with keeping him out of the rotation, keeping him out of playing regardless, it just seems like they are angling or at least both sides are angling for a trade at some point. So they're trying to keep him as healthy as possible so that way when he gets traded, he's at, I guess, his most valuable that he could be at the moment. Don't know what happened with Tyrese over there.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, but yeah, I could see just Cam getting traded just because of the way they're handling the whole thing with him and him just probably like wanting to be traded soon anyways. So like, yeah, I could just see Cam being traded first.
Yeah, I think they move Obi, but I don't think they move Obi immediately. I don't think they move him during the season. I think that's an after the season move. But I can't see them like doing it mid-season because then like if you move him to Indiana where it's been like reported, he has a chance to come back and burn you, and I don't think they want that to happen in the season.
Very true. Very true. You don't want Obi coming back to MSG dunking on like Mitch or something in a game. But yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see what they at least get back for Cam if they do or when they do trade him, because it seems like it's something that's sort of inevitable at this point. But like, you're just wondering what his value is and like what they're going to get back for him. And like what they do with the rotation after they make that trade, because it seems like they're trying to. It seems like the Knicks are trying to get at least a player back, to like move it back to a 10-man rotation, unless they just think that unless they would just want to do Fournier back in the rotation and make it 10-man from there. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do on that front.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think Cam's gonna play much more minutes for this team though. So
I think he already played his last game already, to be honest.
yeah, I think after that debacle against the Mavericks, I feel like Tips was just kind of like, okay, I gave it a shot, it didn't work out, and Grimes is playing too well. The bench, despite his flaws, like I don't think there's really a role for him, and if when you can come out and shoot, the way I think a lot of can, then like I just don't really see a pathway to him getting minutes.
Oh well, I mean, you experiment and you see what happens, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. It's
They give it another shot.
Yeah. It's interesting because you see the roles that Quickly and Grimes are able to play now, but like when RJ comes back, what's going to be Thibs' excuse for not allowing these guys to like expand their roles?
I feel like it's weird because we all need to play more, but like Brunson, RJ, and Randall so much of the pie that like it's hard to find those little gaps to get usage in unless unless one of them is struggling and one of the other people are stepping up. I kind of think at this point, Quickly and Grimes are interchangeable to Tips because they're like, okay, well they can play next to the big the big three and Mitch and such. So like it's basically like pushing along with the starting lineup, the regular four. It's weird. I would like to see him get expanded more, but like I don't think it's gonna happen under his coach. But at the same time, if they keep winning, then it's hard to be like, well, the problem with winning sometimes where it's like, yeah, it's great that you're winning, but like the guy take those leaps.
Yeah, I mean, with another coach, probably staggers much better with certain guys and certain lineups. But yeah, I mean, it's great to see quickly and Grimes get this like time of like expanded offensive role. I mean, you look at what Grimes was able to do today. It wasn't like the numbers weren't eye popping, but like I mean, he was able to just hit threes, and then he attacked off closeouts, got 5 assists today. Like this was a really great Grimes game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like sometimes when RJ is there, he's not like I don't know. It just seems like he's not always looking for a shot, or sometimes these opportunities don't come for him. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Thibs staggers with RJ Grimes quickly, because like there's a way to make all three of them work all together, and like for like because it seems like sometimes like one of them will have a good game and then the other two will be like just like passively there. So like I feel like there's a better way to make them work, and we'll see how Thibs balances that. Hopefully he can, because like there is a version of this team that looks even way better offensively than it did today, which was because I think today wasn't really like one of those like it wasn't like super it wasn't like that much of a super offensive explosion. It was just like Knicks did their thing and like the Suns just had no answers for it. But I feel like there's a way better, more optimized version of this team, and we're still missing like 2 rotation players still. So
There's a more optimized on this team, and there's still a top 10 offense and defense. So like that shows you like how good this team has been playing.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to really discuss for today. I mean, Knicks did their thing. They beat a team that they're supposed to. I guess we can start talking about next game. Next game is on Wednesday versus the Spurs. Little revenge action for the Knicks. Hopefully, RJ will be back. Maybe not. It's been a week or so. But hopefully he's back. We can get revenge against the Spurs. Key difference from last game versus this game versus the Spurs is obviously like Jalen Brunson being back. So that will definitely help us a ton.
Also, I'm not in the crowd, so they can't use me there.
There's also that. So yeah, I mean, hopefully the Knicks, they get a win against the Spurs on Wednesday. They should. I mean, especially if like they're able to beat the Suns, the Suns, despite all their struggles, they were able to beat like the Grizzlies the other day, and they beat like what else did they beat the other day? Like they've beat quality opponents still without Devin Booker, so it's like we just like beat up on some team that was like absolutely putrid. But like we took care of business against them, and hopefully we could do the same against the Spurs.
Yeah, if Romeo Lang doesn't light us up for his career high, I feel confident in this team winning.
Yeah, I just feel like the Spurs, they had that home cooking juice, so they were able to like get all the extra like rebounds, all the extra hustle points. Like Romeo Langford was out there just like going in constantly for putbacks and stuff, and it was just like, okay, this is gonna be the game that we're playing. Then we're obviously not gonna win. But I think since we'll be playing at home, we'll hopefully have some of that home cooking. We'll be able to get those extra plays, get those extra calls as we did today. I mean, look at the free throw disparity for the Knicks today. I mean, we barely committed any fouls today, right?
Yeah, like they had the first quarter where they didn't foul and I think a few amount of turnovers. And Brunson and RJ both got to the line. Not RJ. Brunson and Randall both got to the line 10+ times apiece. So yeah, they played really solid fundamental ball, leveraged their fact they got paint touches to put up points.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. The Suns had 7 free throws as a team, while we had 25. I'll take that, man. I'll take that.
Jesus.
I'll take that.
It's about time. Like, dude, the way Luka got more free throws than us, and Pascal Siakam got more free throws than us, and Jeremy Grant got more free throws than us, dude. Like, it's about time that Julius Randle gets more free throws than the entire team. And it wasn't even that much. It was only 12. Like, I need Julius to get like one of those like 20 throw games that like we'd be giving other teams for whatever reason. Like,
yeah,
somebody, Brunson, I don't care. Just somebody on this team deserves like a 20 free throw game. Let it be quickly. Like,
I will not complain at all. But yeah, facing the Spurs Wednesday at 7:30, regular start time for Knicks game finally. Not this 3 p.m. BS. Although if the Knicks are gonna come out and play like this every time they play at 3 p.m., then I have no problem having 3 p.m. games all the time. I just won't be on Postgame because I'll be on my way home from work. But yeah, I mean, I don't have no problem if the Knicks are gonna continue playing like this.
There won't be a post game. It'll just be Schwinn.
Yeah, it won't be me because like
it'll just be Schwinn talking to himself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone would be able to like go to 3 p.m. games. Like people be at work and shit. Like they only did this because like today's like a day off for folks, but like there's no way they could do this on a regular basis.
The tourists will be there somehow. Somehow, some way, the tourists will be there.
They will be there. So yeah, Spurs on Wednesday, at Toronto on Friday. That could be a tough one, as it is always a rough game for us at Toronto. Always.
Damn, I hate Toronto. I hate Toronto because it's always rough in Toronto. I don't know why. Like, ever since that Linsanity run where like he hit the 3, it's just been rough in Toronto.
It has been. And then Monday we play the Bucks at MSG. So those are the next 3 games. Hopefully Knicks get things done. A lot of the next couple games, like the next 3 of the next 4 are at MSG. So another chance for the Knicks to have a solid like a little bit of a home stretch sort of phase, and like hopefully they can take advantage of it. I know right before during that Christmas time period, like that was another home stretch that we weren't able to take advantage of. So hopefully now we can, because it seems like things are starting to get back to normal for this team. So
yeah, they're clicking again. So hopefully they're able to parlay that into another run. And like I think you're waiting for the record to kind of match what the analytics say. And it did at one point, but then they lost 5 straight. So you're hoping to get back to where you were before everybody got in. And the free throw rolls in the fourth quarter meltdowns started to like mess everything.
Yeah. Ace Bouchard says, oh my God. Jesus. But anyways, Ace Bouchard says the biggest real issue with this team is the Hartenstein minutes. Today I didn't think they were that bad, because I think like Jalen Brunson was a part of those minutes, so that kind of like really helped to stymie like his issues, at least offensively. And he had a nice pass to Jericho Sims that Jericho Sims got a layup off of. So his minutes weren't too bad today. And against a team like the Suns, which like DeAndre Ayton wasn't able to take advantage of any matchups, and like their backup was Jock Landale. I think Hartenstein's minutes were pretty okay today. I can go check the plus minus and see if it matches it. He was a -5 still, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think that
It's just been weird with Hartenstein.
It has been. But yeah, I mean, today his minutes aren't really gonna like sink the team that much because like it was an absolute domination by us. But we'll see how how things fare against the Spurs, and we'll see how things look when guys like when RJ comes back and RJ is the 4 in those backup units maybe again. Maybe that's something that Thibs goes back to, or at least hopefully he tries to go back to, because I think that certain matchups you might be better off with RJ at the 4 than trying the double bigs. Yeah. I think this is where we're gonna end things off because I don't think there's anything else to say. Um, Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Happy New Year to everyone. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on our way to 1K subs. As we head into this new year, check out the description for everything Strickland related. We got links to the site, merch. Get yourself some new merch for the new year. Get Strickland decked out. Also check out the Patreon and the Twitter, all great ways to support and follow us. Um, you know, we'll be back on Wednesday night following the Spurs game. And we'll catch you guys then. Peace out.